Good day, awesome folks, and welcome to Pokemon X and my Wi-Fi battle number 55. Double five, all the fives, two little ducks? No, that's 22. How do you even bingo? Anyway, just a little disclaimer. Anybody who is of a sensitive disposition in the naughty language stakes may want to, talk about timing, may want to just not watch this video because whilst we're recording, my other half, my girlfriend, she is playing Mario Kart over in the other end of the living room. And let's just say, she gets a touch into it. Yeah, a few expletives here and there are going to slip out, probably quite loud, probably quite aggressively. Just FYI, just hooking you up with that knowledge. Anyway, today I have the privilege of bringing you guys a battle against Freedomion. He is a YouTuber and an awesome guy, pun intended, and you should and you should really check him out. His links will be in the description below, not above, below. And yeah, so you should check him out. Great YouTuber, great battles, great teams, etc. He wanted to have an OU battle. This is from my stream a couple of weeks ago. Oh, speaking of streams, I'm having one tonight at 7:30 GMT, baby. Make sure you're there, twitch.tv/Scizorsome, plug. Yeah, so as you can see, he's bringing the OU of OU. He's bringing the Bishop, which is always a scary source threat. That's Sucker Punch, potential for Sword Stance, even subsets are viable, and it's just straight up power. There is Landorus. And the reason that this thing scares me so much is because it works physical and special, and it works damn good. There are the bulky sets, there are the scarf sets, there are so many powerful sets for this thing, and it is a huge threat. Big Bad Beetlebug Pinsir is in the house, and you guys know, if you've watched my videos for a while, you will know that I have a love-hate relationship with the Big Bad Beetlebugs, because I love all Pokemon, and they are really sweet in battle as well, but they have destroyed me about 7.5 million times. I don't know why, but they always wreck me, and I'm gonna make sure that doesn't happen today, at today's stream anyway. Yeah, and he's bringing the Latios, and I love Latios. I love to run that Choice Spec set with Trick and Defog and Psyshock and Draco. It's just such a good set. You can either punch a hole through something or you can trick it. It's awesome. We've got the Keldeo, which is either going to be Specs or Scarf, let's be honest here. I mean, Life Orb's possible, Expert Belt is possible, but they're nowhere near as common these days. And Raikou, which could be running a variety of sets, but will almost definitely be Volt Switch. Am I right? We are bringing our own Latios. Surprise, surprise. We have two of the same OU Pokemon. There is a surprise. That is OU all over. Yes, we've got the Latios with the Choice Specs, etc. We have standard Conkeldurr, to be honest. We have Amoonguss with the Black Sludge and Spore, etc. We've got physically defensive Zapdos, as you know, the good old Thundarja with the Heat Wave and the Thunderbolt and the Roost and the Defog and things. We have Heatran with Stealth Rocks and all that lovely good stuff. And our own Big Bad Beetlebug Mega Pinsir! So let's get this battle underway, guys, without further ado. Oh my lord, can you hear the swearing? This video, I'm going to have to put an 18+ sign on this video just to protect the children. Won't somebody please think of the children? Oh wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. So, okay, he leads with obvious lead, which is Raikou, but it's obvious because it's an amazing lead. It's just going to Volt Switch out, get some serious damage off considering it's a resisted hit. I mean, 25 might not seem like a lot, but that little bit of chip damage here and there can make all the difference between a KO and not a KO. And he's not lost much in that, you see. Now, I imagine that he was hoping that I would go for a Psychic type move here, but obviously we had to make the safe play this early on and go for the Draco. It's still resisted, but as you'll see, it'll do a moderate amount considering it's resisted. There's that Specs power coming through, guys, and that is going to put Gaujila in a seriously bad place, but obviously not as bad as good old Concord X here, because we were switching out because there's no way this thing wants to stay on a Bishop. But we were Pursuit trapped, friends. I rarely see Pursuit on Bishop, honestly. It's amazing. I am going to run a Pursuit Bishop sometime soon, I think. It's not something you see that much anymore, I don't think. I could be wrong. But yeah, it really screwed me right in the caboose right there. So we're bringing Conkeldurr to try and do things and stuff. But as you can see, things and stuff didn't go very well after the Intimidate. And look at this thing. Look at this thing's bulk. Are we doing jack to this thing? And with nary a nice type move in sight, it is time for us to switch out, friends. But not before our illustrious opponent. Oh, actually, no, we stay in this turn, I believe. I do believe we stay in this turn. And go for the knockoff. Possibly the knockoff. Ah, yeah, the knockoff. You know, Completely forgot about that. Yeah, the thing is, no, we can clean this thing up with a Mach Punch. Sucker Punch does not scare us at all, if he has it, which he probably doesn't if he's running Pursuit. So yeah, that gets taken down. That is a huge threat out of the way, so happy days! I don't think I played particularly well during this battle, I'm not going to lie. But then again, my opponent thinks I did, and you know, I watched it back, because he's got his own side of this battle up on his channel. Check it out, please, and thank you. Yeah, and I suppose I did play better than I thought, but I just think I maybe overpredicted a little in some places. Meh. But either way, we're both going to switch here, and he brings back in the Raikou to get that momentum. He's got the Volt Town on the go. He's a clever, clever man. And we've got Moongus just sitting there ready to sponge up that electric type extra sensory. So that means that, to be honest, it's still like a 4-hit KO, maybe even 5-hit KO, thanks to the Black Sludge. And obviously with Regenerate, all we have to do is switch out and we get the majority of that damage back. In fact, after Black Sludge and switching out, we'd probably be at full health again. TBH. Now, Landorus comes in, and that is Scary Sauce for us, guys. That is 100% Scary Sauce. Sludge Bomb isn't going to do anywhere near enough to this thing. Obviously, Giga Drain's going to do Jackal, but we can Spore it. We can get a Spore off, and that is lovely jubbly, because there's one thing you don't want to go to sleep, it's your Landorus, because let's face it, you don't want that thing being vulnerable. You want it to come in, wha-bam, do what it's made to do, wha-bam, switch out. Too much wha-bam there, I think. So he does a sensible thing, switches in Pinsir. Now, this puts the serious pressure on me. There's no chance I can stay in with this thing unless I want to sack Amoonguss off, which I do not. So he sent in Thundaja because this thing generally carries 2 normal/flying type moves when it Mega Evolves. And Earthquake and Sword Stance. Rock Slide is a thing as well, but we'd be able to take a non-stab Rock Slide quite easily, to be honest, even with its insane attack stat. He brings Luxus back in, Loxus, sorry. I assume he was expecting us to go for the Electric type move, but it was the safest and most awesome play to go for the Fire type move, which was still super effective against Pinsir, and wouldn't have been resisted by as many of his pokes, I don't think, if I remember correctly, TBH LOL. So we send in Heatran, hoping to be able to sponge up any hits, because this thing's got special defense coming out of the Yin Yang, and as you can see, it did nothing. But he's going to get a nice and tasty Volt Switch off now, which still really didn't do as much as I was expecting. This thing's bulk, its thickness, its magma armor is just too strong, to be honest with you. Landorus is terrifying in front of a Heatran, even if it's asleep. This thing could probably knock us out in its sleep without Sleep Talk. But we just go YOLO, as the kids say, and go for Stealth Rocks to try and maybe wear him down a little bit, because he likes to do his Volt Town. He's Volt Towning all over the place. So I'm hoping this might make him disinclined to do that, or rack up the damage that he does. Sending this thing back in, hoping to be able to take a hit and Spore it again, if and when we get the chance. Now, whether it works out that way, however, friends, is another story entirely. So for now, in the meantime, we're going to go for Giga Drain because it's stab, because it's neutral, because it's health. Num 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 num. So just in case he wakes up and gets an attack off, we get a bit of health back, have more of a chance of surviving whatever comes our way next. I excuse the expletives being used in the background there, friends. Yeah, so I thought that was the best play we could go for right now. I didn't want to risk switching out and taking a powerful Earth Power or something to the face. With anything else, I suppose I could have switched Thundaja in, but, you know, threats, power, pain, scary. You know, I quelled in the face of a Landorus. Sue me. It's a scary thing. So yeah, this thing comes back in. Obvious Psyshock is obvious, right? Am I right? But we stay in anyway and go for a Giga Drain. Or did he switch out? Did he switch out? I think he switched out, actually. He did switch out. I am such a silly bear. Yeah, so he switched out. We switch out because there is no chance in Hades that we want to stay in on this thing with the Moongus. So we switch in Pinsir because it is basically the only thing that we can switch into this thing and not be terrified for our lives. I was hoping he would go for maybe a Psyshock and we'd be able to take that because it should be resisted, I think, maybe, possibly. But he does go for the Defog, which is something else I was hoping he might possibly do in order to allow us a free turn to switch into this thing. Excuse me. Problem is now, do we try and get a Moxie boosted, well, do we try and get Moxie boost by using Earthquake and not Mega Evolve? Or, friends and friends and friends and friends and friends, do we just Mega Evolve and try and get off as much damage as possible on this thing? Because we'll outspeed after we Mega Evolve. I didn't know if we'd outspeed before Mega Evolve, and I don't think we would. So I decided to Mega Evolve and go for the Bug Bite. Don't ask why Bug Bite. I haven't changed the moveset yet. It wasn't completely ready for battle. I'm sorry. But we do manage to do a sizable chunk of damage to this thing with the Bug Bite. But he basically wrecks our Anuses. Our Anuses are now wrecked, friends. With an electronic dildo of doom. Yeah, so now he sends in Landorus, and Landorus is still asleep, but what are the bets that is not going to last for much longer? Because I'd say the stakes wouldn't be, the odds wouldn't be very high on that one, friends. I think he is almost definitely going to wake up right about now. No? We get a thrash off! Oh, yeah! But he wakes up. He goddamn wakes up, hits the rock slide. Bye-bye, Captain Vice. I am proud of you, buddy. You did good in the face of insurmountable odds. And yeah, so Landorus gets a KO. There's a surprise. If that doesn't happen at least once in a battle with Landorus, then you probably are doing Landorus wrong. TBH, here. Alright, so now we bring in Steroid, hoping that we can clean this thing up with a Mach Punch. Now, I don't know. I wasn't too sure about this, and with good reason. I should have really just gone for either a Drain Punch or a Knockoff or something like that to get rid of this thing in one turn instead of two, because we probably, yeah, he was setting up Stealth Rock, so that definitely would have been the best situation for us right there. He now goes for a Tasty Earthquake, but we eat that up like mofos. Knowing that we're going to take a hit and probably be able to take it, I go for the Drain Punch just to suck up the, what, like 5 HP we're going to get back? Oh, no, more like 13 HP, but still not bad. The teeny bit of HP could make the difference between fainting and not fainting, so it's always worth doing. However, now, we are between a cock and a hard place, because Pinsir is about to wreck all of the souls, just ram its horns up inside us and be like, screw you, buddy, because he is just going to dance all over our graves, all over our lives, all over our souls, like he always does every time we face Pinsir. He just has to be Pinsir, doesn't he? He just has to fuck everything up. As you can see, he's going to go for an Aerialate boosted return, and that does a ridiculous amount for a resisted hit on a physically defensive Zapdos. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? However, he doesn't want to stay in and take a Heat Wave or a Thunderbolt, so he switches in Loxus once again. But it doesn't matter which move we go for this time. I knew that Loxus wasn't really in any danger of taking the Thunderbolt, so there's no risk in going for a Thunderbolt. Why not? Nice stab boosted attack to try and hit anything that comes in for powerful damage. Yeah, but we hit this thing for what would have been probably considerable damage had it not straight up wrecked its soul. So that's that thing out of the way. That is part of the Volt Turn call gone, and that is what we like to see. Right, so Latios, Mystigan has come in. And we know what that means, guys. We know what that means. It's going to use some power on us right now. Now, our best bet is obviously to switch in Talonwho. He will resist Draco Meteor, and he will take he will take any Dragon-type move really well. And Psyshock wouldn't have done too much either, I don't imagine, because this thing is just thick all round. It is thicker than the juiciest steak. Yeah! Yeah! Exactly what she's talking about. Donkey Kong, by the way. She hates him in Mario Kart. He is a bit of a dick to people in Mario Kart, to be fair. Anyway, back to the battle. So we use Magma Storm. I know we probably should have switched there, predicting this thing to come in, but I just wanted to get some damage off. We didn't really have a lot of switching options at this point anyway, and as you can see, this did a moderate, what, about 28, 30% damage? Somewhere, maybe straight up 25 actually. We do manage to get another one off, which is always Tasty Source, really. No, of course we don't. That is him being... And of course he gets hurt by the residual damage of Magma Storm. We get a chance to switch out, and we send in Letoad. Now, Letoad should be able to take most hits from this thing quite well, except those Ice-type moves, but they ain't stab, yo. They ain't no stab moves. So that shouldn't be too much of a threat for us, right? Am I right? Am I right? But look how much the Hydro did! You even kidding me right now? Are you serious? So yeah, we're still in some serious source right now. Now, I figured that this thing had to be either Scarfed or Specs after it being sent out the way it was, and the fact he didn't switch up his moves and try and KO us, because he would have outsped and done some serious damage. So he switches in Mystigan. Obviously, I imagine he was expecting to be put to sleep that turn. Or he may have expected us to switch, fearing the Ice-type move. I don't know. But yeah, I think that he would have just expected us to try and put something to sleep, and he was okay with it being Mystigan. Maybe. Now in comes Pinsir, because what can we really do to this thing? What can we do to this thing? I am saying nothing. I think nothing. I send in Steroid. You know when you send in a Conkeldurr against a Mega Pinsir, you are out of options, friends. There's not a whole heap of a lot you can do. Really? Is there? So we send Thundarja back in. He's going to take this return, but after Stealth Rock's damage... Look! 14 HP. Now the problem with that is, though, What can we do with 14 HP? What can we do with even, what, 24 HP was it? 26 HP, of course? Nada. Especially because this thing is defensive, so it is outsped by Mega Pinsir, and just straight up destroyed. Tell them who now, unless this thing, if this thing doesn't carry the Earthquake, we have a chance of winning. N'est-ce pas? Correct? But it does. Of course it does. What Mega Pinsir doesn't carry Earthquake? Well, a couple, but the majority of them don't, because it's just such a goddamn good coverage move and it covers so many weaknesses of Mega Pinsir's that there is no point in not having it. And now, Pinsir is just systematically destroying souls and cleaning up the team. We're sending in fighting types and steel types and fire types and all sorts of types that get whomped by its standard moveset, which means we're out of options, guys. GG to 3D. As in 3 Dominion, not as in 3D. You know what I mean, guys. So yeah, as you can probably tell, this battle is reaching its denouement. Okay, as you can probably imagine, guys, we have run into some technical difficulties. There's a surprise, doesn't happen to us at least once a day or anything. Luckily, the only problem that we're actually having is our hard drive keeps filling up. Well, that's the main problem at the moment anyway with this video. The reason that I didn't make space for it is because I was in great haste to get this video out to you guys before the stream, which kicks off in just over half an hour. Well, from the time of recording, not from the time of publishing. Yeah, so I was in great haste to get this out to you guys, so I completely forgot to make space. It crashed right at the very end, though. It was the last turn, don't worry. We were about to take a return with Sir Roy, the Conch Elder, and that would have sealed Freedomi on the 3-0 victory. So let me know what you guys thought of the battle down below in the comments section. Also, don't be afraid to go and check him out because he's a great YouTuber and a great guy. Yeah, so let me know what you did or didn't like down below, and I love you all. Be great to see you at the stream. Have a Scizorsome day. Bye-bye.